Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and it's World of Fail time. Yep, that's right, there was supposed to be one on Boxing Day, like I said, but I got enough clips lying about, and I got a few today as well, to make another one, to replace that one, so here we are. Now, I have kept the numbers in order so it makes sense, so the other one would have been 6, this is now 6. Anyway, I'm in the Blitzen, Tier 3 American light tank that a lot of people love, myself included. It is good fun. A bit tricky when it's bottom tier, sorry, in a Tier 5 match, and that's what we are now. Now I'm in a platoon with my lovely wife, she's in her Blitzen, and I think this was when I was getting footage, possibly for the Blitzen review. In fact, I think it was. So this would have been just before Christmas, and these are a mixture of sort of over the last week or so, ones that didn't go into the other one, and also from today as well. I think there's a couple in there. Now, this is the first time I'd been on Thiepval Ridge in the Blitzen, bottom tier, and I really wasn't quite sure where to go to make the most of it. Now, most of the team seem to be going across the A line, across the top there towards the eastern side of the map. So we've come down the western side of the map, hopefully skirting around wide enough to maybe avoid anything, possibly spot it before it sees us, although that's not particularly likely. Although, mind you, it's not got bad spotting range, I suppose, the Blitzen, but a lot of the Tier 5s have better. But that was the plan. Unfortunately, I've got spotted by the Crusader. There is also a KB-1S on my left flank, and I have been given a big slap. And that's me done by an M4. So much for skirting around the outside unseen. Alright, here we are for the second one. I'm in the OI. This is just before I got rid of it. In fact, this could have been possibly when I was getting footage for the OI review again. This one's a bit longer and a bit different to a lot of my fail clips. Now, at the risk of a spoiler, this is actually a win. And I've left the whole clip on, but it is kind of a fail as well. It's, in my opinion, I think it's kind of a fail for myself, and it's a fail for my team, and it's kind of possibly a bit of a fail for the enemy team as well. And I'll see if you agree with me at the end. I think it's, like I say, a bit of a fail for myself, and even though it's a win, I think it was still a fail for the team, which will make sense hopefully at the end. You might completely disagree with me and just say, well, what are you moaning about? A win's a win. Well, yeah, it is, but sometimes I'd rather have lost. You know what I mean? It just like, that was a win, really. You know, how the hell did that happen, sort of thing. But yeah, we'll see. Now, I am sometimes, I know it's a bit noobish, quite fond of taking the OI up Himmelsdorf Hill, and that's because his gun depression's not bad. It's big. This is a Tier 8 match, I think. And if you can get up and over the top, and sometimes you don't encounter much resistance, they're a bit late getting there. But if you can fight for the top and get down the other side of the hill, there's that slim chance you could possibly ram somebody. It is well worth it. Now, don't forget I'm running the 15cm howitzer, and that Hellcat has just found that out the hard way. Poor guy, he has just been nuked. Now, the hill's looking a bit iffy. I've got an IS-3 down the end of this, down the end of the street, the Banana Road, and it's an important road, this. And other people probably agree with me on this. I've been in so many matches where the Banana Road is completely ignored, and I'm in something that really would do well up the top of the hill, and I'm just on my way up there and see that this road below the hill is completely unguarded. So you have to flick it around and at least try and defend it, because if not, they'll just rush straight down it and into your cap, and then they'll flank you, and you'll be basically stuck between them on the hill. So you'll have the guys on top of the hill that you're fighting with, and then these guys will come up behind you. Now, it might seem a bit funny that I've abandoned the T28 prototype, but it's a T28 prototype. Very tough front, very tough frontally, that tank. So I don't know, I was hoping he was going to back up, and if it had backed off and positioned himself properly, probably where I was, he could really hold them off almost indefinitely if he's you know, careful enough. But what I had seen was the guys on the hill had pushed down the other road up there, and you can actually get over on that corner where the road doglegs and comes back on itself. You can actually drive over that corner and join up with the other road, and that's what they'd actually done. They'd got behind our guys that were going up there and they've wiped them out. So I was going to try and intercept and give them a nice big hit, and unfortunately I just clipped him for about 240 damage. No, I say unfortunately, it's still 240 damage, but nowhere near enough. And yeah, it's mobbing time, and that's me done. But if you look at the look at the bar at the top of the screen, we are capping. Most of the team have headed up towards cap, and even though about half of our team have been wiped out, we've only killed 2 of the enemy, we are about to win. Now, I think I only fired 3 shots, 2 of those connected, so 2 hits. That's all I've got. So you might think, yeah, that's good, it's a win. And I was like, yeah, cool, win. You know, I'll have probably come near the bottom of the table with that one. I did 890 damage. Only fired a couple of shots, killed 1 tank. So yeah, I'm not going to be very far up the table, not at all. So, but it was a win. That's, you know, they were my initial thoughts. Yeah, I came top on a win. Excuse me. Yeah, 890 damage, 2 connecting hits, and I came top, and yet we won. In fact, the nearest guy to me, I think on our team, was like 560 something. The enemy team, you know, they were having a good match. I think the top damage on that team was about 1700. So yeah, I thought that was a bit of a fail, even though it was a win. But I'll see what you think in the comments. I'm sure you'll let me know. Now I'm in the T34-3, or the T34-3 should I say, and it's on airfield standard battle. I didn't notice. Oh, it's a tier 9 match. There you go. And that's the worst this is going to see. It does get preferential matchmaking, so it won't see any higher than tier 9. It's got awful gun depression, only minus 3 degrees, but once you get used to it, it's not so bad. You just try not to put yourself in a situation where it's going to be detrimental to you. You do have to alter your play style, but from playing in this first and then getting the WZ-120 fully upgraded, where its gun depression drops to minus 3, it did help, and yeah, I was able to deal with it a lot more quickly in the WZ-120 than when I first jumped into this. I really did struggle with it. I'll not lie, I did struggle a lot with the lack of gun depression in this. Other than that, it's not bad. Quite a slow rate of fire, inaccurate, you know, long aiming time, but 390 damage. It's quite an ambush tank, in my opinion. It is good, like I say, for popping out, putting a big old hit into the side or the flank of somebody, or the rear, and it can get, you know, it can get around the battlefield quite quickly as well. Now go for the T25. Oh, well, there you go. RT says no. Now for the next one, mountain pass in the snow, and it's a tier 10 match. In fact, there are no tier 9s on our team at all. The enemy have 3 of them, we don't, so matchmaking at its finest. And I'm in the tier 8 German heavy tank, the VK4502A. Now, people who are familiar with this will probably be aware that you sort of have to drive it a bit more like a medium, a heavy medium, rather than a sort of traditional heavy tank. And in that respect, it does remind me a lot of the FCM 50T and the, you know, obviously the FCM 50T Liberté, same tank, different paint job, but yeah, it does remind me a lot of that. Not quite as fast rate of fire, but I think this has more damage to its gun. I'm sure it does. Why do I want to say about 320? Possibly, yeah, something like that. Anyway, I wouldn't normally bring it down to this corner, especially in a tier 10 match, but nobody else really has, and I was kinda keeping my fingers crossed that most of the enemy force, at least the top tiers, would head towards cap. Unfortunately, that is not the case. We managed to take out the enemy bulldog between us, but there's me, There's the Carnarvon, and what we got, a Chieftain as well, and that's it. And there's a Death Star around the corner. There's another enemy heavy, T10. Oh, T110E3, and everybody's coming to this party. Yeah. Oh dear. And this was just one of those times where there really wasn't much you could do about it. I was trying to sort of say falling back, so those guys knew I was, you know, on the way out of there. Not going to give them any help, but yeah, nothing you could really do about this. You go one way, just about every tier 10 on the enemy team comes around the corner, and you are out in the open with your arse hanging in the breeze. Yeah, that's it. You're going to die, probably. Anyway, next one, Ghost Town. I'm in the A44. I really liked, is it the A43, the one before this? I really enjoyed that tank. It was a really nice surprise. You know those tanks that you don't really know much about them, or you just think, you know, not looking forward to it, looks a bit meh from the stats, that sort of thing, and then you get in it and it is just, it's like, wow, actually this is really good fun. Or, you know, you're struggling with it and then you get it fully upgraded and all of a sudden it just clicks and you're like, wow, yeah, I like this tank. That was the A43 for me. I'm sure that's the one before this. But this one, I've got it fully upgraded. It's got a 107mm gun. Same as the one on the T150, I think. If memory serves me right, it's been a long time since I've been in that. So, you know, it's got decent penetration. It's got decent, well, it's got really, you know, quite good alpha damage. Don't forget this is a medium. But it's inaccurate again. Long aiming time, slow rate of fire. The armour is a bit trolly on the front. It's not bad at side scraping, but you are going to get your engine damaged a hell of a lot in this thing. And yeah, virtually no gun depression. So why I brought it up to this corner, I really don't know. And I sort of went into autopilot, kind of forgot what tank I was in for a bit, and just headed up to this corner. And then when I got here, just thought, Christ, I've got no gun depression. What am I doing here? This is, you know, probably the worst place I could have come to. And I had two options. I could either just turn around and bugger off, which probably would have been the smart thing to do, or I could stay here and try and at least hold these guys off, because there's nobody else up here, and if I don't, they're going to swing around that corner straight into the back of our guys. Now, yeah, at first I thought I'm going to hold them off, and then I thought, do you know what, no, I'm getting out of here. Then that guy popped up on the radar on top of the hill, and it's, you know, fight or flight time again, and I've just got to try and do what I can, because there's no way I can get away from him. And I don't even know why I charge him. I think I'm just trying to get alongside him or get around the back of him, just something else, and yeah, that's it. I think I've just given up at that point, to be honest. Now I think this could possibly be the last of the fail clips, and yes, I'm in the Legion 59 now. I'll cut. Yeah, I did make a mistake when I did the review of this. I did misread the website. Normally, you know, on all the other tanks it's just the two figures, silver and XP bonus. I completely misread it, and of course it has no silver bonus, which some of you reminded me, so thank you for doing that. And it has a 35% XP bonus and then a 20% crew XP bonus. So yeah, I did get that completely wrong, but this is, it's growing on me, you know. I kind of hate to say it, but it is kind of growing on me. It works very well in the support role. You know, you've got to really try and manage that weak spot, but the Type 59 hull is a good hull. This is a tier 10 match though, and it's not so nice in a tier 10 match, especially on this. Do you know, on this map I hate it. I hate being bottom tier on this map, because there's just, your options are so limited. Because whichever corridor you decide to go down, because that's basically what it is, it's a very corridorized map, you're going to run into something big, probably bigger than you are. So yeah, I do kind of struggle, just mostly this map in particular, when I'm sort of bottom tier, you know, like a tier 8 and a tier 10 match, that sort of thing. Not too bad with the lower tiers if I'm bottom tier, but at this sort of level, I don't know what it is about this map, but there you go. But yeah, like I say, this is kind of growing on me. Yeah, it's got a big stupid turret on top of its turret. The gun depression at the front of the tank isn't as good as over the side, so that can be a bit of a pain in the backside as well. But the gun handling is very, very good. The aiming time's not bad, the accuracy's not bad, but it just seems to behave itself, and you know, not always, but generally it hits more than it misses. The dispersion on the aiming circle is also very, very good. I mean, look at I'm moving backwards and forwards and it's barely moving at all there. But yeah, the gun handling is very good on this thing. You know, that is, it's probably its saving grace. But yeah, I have really cocked up. I've come to the wrong side. I managed to get a couple of hits on that. Was it an M46 Patton? I think it was, and that's it, I'm done. Rheinmetall Borsi gave me a big hit. They'd snuck round on me and I'd just completely gone to the wrong place. Everybody else had gone over the bridge. Anyway, that's it for the fails. Now we have the slightly better match, hopefully. I'm in the Legion 59 Patton. I'd not actually finished off the ASOP for this. I must admit, I think this was... I've not been on World of Tanks for about 6 days over Christmas. It's been very busy for me. The videos I had were sort of footage that I'd already got, that sort of thing. So this was the first match that I've had on it in 6 days, and I went into Legion to try and get the ASOP finished off. Now, a quick rundown of the stats. It's got a 90mm gun, 8 rounds a minute, 190 pen, 240 damage. So it's sort of same pen and damage as the Pershing at tier 8. Now, its hull armour is 100 on the front, 80 on the sides and 45 on the rear, and is of course the Type 59 hull. The turret is the turret of the M48 Patton, the tier 10 American medium, although the weak spot has been enlarged on this slightly. And is 178 on the front, 178 on the front, 76 on the sides, 51 on the rear. And like I said before, no silver bonus, but 35 XP and 20 crew XP. Yes, I know that now. But I'm top tier, it's a tier 8 match, so I'm feeling fairly confident. I've come up towards the northeastern corner, which is quite an important corner, but I'm not going directly up to the corner. I'm going to come up and over this sort of small hill, there's 2 hills over here, and see if I can position myself to try and use my gun depression to shoot down at anything that comes across there, or at the very least spot it. And something seen me, it's T20. I'll just put a bit of a speculative shot out as I pull back. I want to get myself in a better position. I was quite out in the open there for my lower plate to be hit, and for that weak spot to be hit on top. And I find if you're going to side scrape in this, because it is quite good at side scraping, you know, you've got 80mm side armour. When you're bottom tier, again, you've got to be a bit more careful, but top tier, you can side scrape, or you know, you can side scrape, or I can side scrape at least. And you know, some people don't find it as easy as others. It took me a bit of practice to get it right. I still cock it up now every now and again. But if you're going to do it, you want to side scrape off to the left, so that the building covers the right hand side of your turret as much as possible and keeps that horrible great tumour of a machine gun turret on top covered up. Now I am getting a little bit aggressive here. I've popped across. I'm going to have a go at this Tiger, and I'm going to angle as best I can, and I'm going to keep moving backwards and forwards because I was expecting him to go for the weak spot, and he doesn't. He goes from a hull, and he keeps going from a hull. Now somebody went for the weak spot. That would have been the Panzer M10, which is the disguised Panther. And the Tiger, I don't know if he went for it in the end, but he got taken out by, I don't know, maybe artillery? No, possibly tank destroyer just off to my left. Now I'm going to go after this Panther M10, and I don't really have to be overly cautious of him. He doesn't have a particularly good gun. He's got a good rate of fire, not particularly good pen or damage though. In fact, it's not the stock gun off the Panther, I don't think, but it's probably the second gun on it. Now I've got the back of the Oni, and yeah, I've got to be a bit more careful of him. Even stock, he's got 175 pen and about 390 damage, and if he's not stock, he's not got the 15cm, I don't think, but if he's not stock, I think it's over 200 pen possibly. And indeed, he did put one through the front of my hull, it looked like. So I'm going to play around a bit there. Wait till I've popped off radar, and I'm going to back off completely. I'm not going to take him on from the front. I can't get out and start circling him because he's got friends with him. And I'm not sure what's off to the left either. You know, what's sort of round that way towards their cap. So I think the best bet was just to pull away, back off and try and come at it from a different angle. And I was going to go around the corner and try and flank the T-28 prototype. But that's when I noticed the T-32, and I've actually managed to sneak across without being seen, so fingers crossed I can get round behind the T-32, take him out, and then we should hopefully be able to deal with the T-28 prototype and the Oni if all goes to plan. Although, looking at the map and the top score, it's 6-8 in the enemy's favour, so we're going to have to pull our fingers out if we want to get this one back to a win. I think it can be done. I've seen it done from a lot worse. But trying to take on this T-28 prototype from the front. You see, he is angled a bit, and I'm trying to get through the side because it's very weak, but it's not a big enough gun to overmatch it. And I'm going for the flattest part on the turret, which is still thick, but because it's flat, there's no angle to it, it's easy to pen. And again, I'm just trying to find somewhere to pen him, and that's when artillery gives me a bit of a nudge. The Oni pops around the corner, and again, didn't do anything to him, just bounced off, so I'm going to switch to heat rounds, and sometimes you've just got to fire a bit of premium, haven't you? That's the Oni dealt with. The GW Panther gives me another hit, kills my gunner and leaves me on 22 health. But my heat round is going through the front of the T-28 prototype. The Ferdinand's making a move on him, although he is taking a beating doing so. The T-28 prototype has got a deceptive rate of fire on that top 120mm gun. When I had it, I caught many people out, and I've still been caught out by it now, and I know how fast it fires. Now, there was another tank destroyer coming up, so I am risking it, coming around behind him, but hopefully... Oh, it's a tier 6. That's nearly half his health gone with one hit. Just get behind this wreckage. Try and side scrape off it and hope he doesn't go for my weak spot. Just keep my fingers crossed. Oh, nearly killed him. That was a low roll, and he bounced. And I'm going to reload before he does. And that's him dealt with. And now it's just a case of trying to... Oh, crap. Now my friends are dead. And yeah, the T-28 prototype's turning around to come and have a go. And now Artie's having a go. That was lucky. He's just got to land it next to me to kill me, I think. So again, I'm going to back right off and try and come at this from a different angle and on my terms, rather than fighting uphill towards the T-28 prototype coming down at me, because although it's slow, this is quite nippy in reverse. You know, there's a good chance he could ram me, but I don't want to be fighting that way. I'd rather keep it in my favour if possible. Although that is quite difficult. My turret's slightly damaged. I've got 22 health. And it's 9-11 in the enemy team's favour. Now where is he? Do you know these bloody things can move when they're going downhill? I really was expecting to have come across him by now. There he is. Yeah, he didn't find me, so he's just turned around and waited, and he's missed. Now I've got to be quick enough. I have got to get round behind him without taking a hit. And we're going to do it, and we're going to do it. Oh, and he just tracks me. And I get one through his side. Oh, and Artie just missed again. Screw this. Repair kit, get behind him. Oh, come on. There we go. One more, just stay behind him. Now I'm going downhill, I'll get a bit of speed up. And he's done. That was a very good effort by him. And I was just very, very lucky that my tracks ate that shot. But we're getting capped out. There's no way I'm going to get back to cap in time. And there's Artie again having another go. I'm just going to lock on and take a punt at him. Oh, and I got him! No, that was just lucky. But there was no way I was getting back to cap. And the other medium, I think he was down the other end of the map. I'm not quite sure what he was doing. But that was quite a good match, and I'm happy with that for a loss. 3,423 damage done. 1,079 assisted, 1,825 blocked, and I came out of that with my ace tanker as well, and 86,000 silver, and that's without any silver bonus on the Legion, and 3,397 XP on the loss, 1,099 base. But yeah, good match. Anyway, there you go. I hope you've enjoyed watching me fail again, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. So as always, take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.